guys, it's Jess from Ispire here, and for Black History Month, we wanted to take the time to highlight the Black perspective of a business owner in the cannabis industry that has been paving the way for the new landscape and found wild success as a trendsetter in the space. So who better to talk to than Xzibit himself? Xzibit, thanks for coming on with me. I appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about what made you want to start a cannabis brand in the first place?
This is my second brand. My first brand was one of the first big vape brands that came onto the scene was Brass Knuckles. Um, I had two other partners in that, and it gave me a real insight on, how operations work, what it takes to build a brand. I think the culmination of ideas that it took to get into the cannabis brand came from being, part of it when it was, part of my music career, enjoying cannabis, it goes hand in hand and synonymous with music. So, when it became able to, be legal, it was easy for me to take the transition from being an artist and being part of the cannabis culture in that manner and knowing what I know in marketing and branding and then taking that and then building, a business. I enjoy building businesses. So that's, another reason why I got into the cannabis industry. It's something that I just enjoy. And so going into the cannabis industry was an easy fix for me.
Brass Knuckles was definitely a cultural movement in the space. So, congratulations. I'm stoked to hear that you found such wild success across all your different business ventures in cannabis. Can you describe your experience as a Black business owner in the cannabis industry?
It's for me, being a Black man is not like a hard thing to do. It's everything that the way I carry myself, the way I get down. So when I go into business, I just want to do good business. My experience has been one of such where, I've been part of some really big projects, been part of some really big movements. And so I know how, to learn the lessons that I've learned and be around some of the biggest, movers and influencers in the planet and take from that and be able to learn from that. And so my experience has been great as a Black business owner.
What is your favorite way to consume cannabis? I know you guys have a few different SKUs under the Napalm brand. So, can you tell me a little bit about what your favorite is?
I love, like smoking, like whether it be, our 8 gram pre-roll or whether it be one of our rockets, a really regular joint, or sometimes I like to indulge and roll a backwood up. But there's, my favorite is flower. I'll do some concentrates rolled up in some joints. But yeah, man, I love, and I'll do some edibles too. I love edibles.
I love edibles. I definitely feel you on that one. Nothing smacks quite like an edible does. But I do love Fronto leaf too on occasion. So rolling up a backwood or a Fronto, I can always get down with. I love it.
Absolutely.
Cool. So, how can people best support Black business owners in general? I know what you've been saying is that you've kind of been met with open arms and clearly found such wild success in everything that you've done inside and outside of business and the cannabis industry. And I'm wondering, do you think others have the same experience? And how can we best highlight the Black perspective in business?
Black culture influences everything, where from pop culture, all the way to what we do and how we market ourselves in cannabis. There's not many of us, as far as owners and operators, but the influence of the culture is still here, and it's very powerful. So, how to support Black business in cannabis? I mean, just um, follow the good operators. Follow the people that are actually, taking their time to make sure their brand is consistent and in line with what the guidelines are and what people are trying to do with building a real business. The back end of the business needs to be built out the same way the front end is. Can't take shortcuts. So, I think the spotlight is on, those who, choose to be trailblazers. And so that's what I feel like we are. If you look at Viola, you look at, myself, you look at Gas House, these are some really good, operators that you can kind of go out and support, and not just Black, you know what I'm saying? There's the Latino side of things with Dr. Green Thumb, you know what I'm saying? And Burner with Cookies. I mean, we come directly from the culture. Like we were doing it before it was legal. So, I say focus on those who actually care about the culture and are part of it and going forward, and not just some corporate, people just slapping some stickers on the bag and figure it out. They're part of the business.
I definitely think that's super important. Like, you can have the professionals, you can have the suits, but at the end of the day, you need the cannabis industry experts because, you need the people that were in the cannabis industry before it was an industry, because that's really the true essence of the culture.
And the consumers aren't stupid either. I mean, they know who's who and what's what. So, I think it'd be a mistake if corporate America tried to come in with the hedge funds and the pharmaceutical money and think that they're just going to throw it at the people and it's going to be, Walmart-esque, cannabis.
Yeah, I'm already seeing that. I've heard a couple of big pharma deals already starting to go through and they're trying to buy it out. But like you said, the consumer's not stupid.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, with the 99-cent eighth, and people are, some people are going to go for it, but, other folks are going to be like, I don't know.
So you already kind of touched on it a little bit, but can you highlight a specific story about how cannabis has directly changed or impacted your own life?
I've been consuming cannabis since I was a teenager. So, I was just talking to my sister the other day. My level of like injury or being hospitalized, or I don't do any prescription drugs. My health has been kind of really maintained throughout, my entire life through cannabis. I've never had to really be on any kind of medications, no blood pressure medications, no any of that. Maintaining a clean diet, making sure to drink plenty of water and enjoy cannabis. So I clearly, can state and feel like cannabis has allowed me to maintain a perfect, trajectory in life and just haven't had any kind of real serious issues because of it.
That's amazing and a huge testament to the plant. What do you want to see happen in the future of the cannabis industry?
I'd like to see federal legalization. I'd like to see tax reform. I'd like to see real businesses be brought to the forefront and use those as the guidelines for businesses that come after. I'd like to see the integration of what we have now in our markets, and then when big pharmaceutical and big hedge funds come in, that they partner with us instead of trying to squeeze us out. I think that'll serve them well, as also set the example that these things can come together and it can be done the right way. And like the big guy stomping on the little guy isn't going to work here. So there's going to be a whole bunch of David and Goliaths happening if that takes place. But we can't really live through things twice. So I say, if those things take place and if we can, move into the federal legalization of cannabis within the next 4 to 5 years and be nationwide with it, and then in turn go global with the cities and the countries that see the benefits of doing cannabis business, we want to be on the forefront of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I think you really hit the nail on the head with everything you just said. I think a cannabis landscape with those kind of, parameters and vision in place is just bound for success. So my last question for you, and this is just kind of in general, I mean, through your music, through your career, your own personal life, your businesses, and through the cannabis space, how do you measure success, and what does success mean to you?
Success to me, it's funny. I have a new piece of my album called Success, and it's like a spoken word of everything that I've been through from the top of my career and all my businesses. And so it's like a point for point. It's really interesting that you asked that question. But in the long story short, what I believe success is, being able to make decisions, good or bad, and living with it, being able to have generational wealth, not just the appearance of success. Those are things that are important to me. Like success is not worn on jewelry. It's not visible. The people that I've been around that have the most money and the most success don't, floss it or buy fancy things, or you know what I'm saying? They have things that will last generations. So that's how I measure my success.
Definitely. I mean, that's some major advice right there. That's some key life advice. I think it's important to highlight the fact that, the richest people, the most impactful people we know aren't necessarily the ones wearing iced out chains. Okay, I have to ask because you brought it up. Do you have any new music you're working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah. And I have a new album called Kingmaker that I'm working on. I'm really excited about it. So just keep your eyes open. Kingmaker's coming.
Cool. Well, that's really all I have for you, X. Thank you so much for coming on with me. I really appreciate you taking the time to highlight Black future and Black success, and just being a cool ass leader in the cannabis space and in music. We can't wait to see more of what you do. Everyone, go check out Napalm's Instagram at Napalm Brands and go give them a follow. And stay tuned for more new music from Xzibit. We can't wait to see more from him. This is Jess with Ispire signing off.